And in Wisconsin's U.S. Senate race, Tammy Baldwin is claiming victory, but the Associated Press says this race is too close to call.
Yeah, let's take a look at the numbers right now. As you can see, the race separated by fewer than 30,000 votes between Tammy Baldwin and Eric Hovde. One of the third-party candidates here has more votes than the margin between Baldwin and Hovde. The AP reports that this race is close enough here for a recount. And
in a statement sent to our newsroom early today, Baldwin says in part, quote, "It is clear that the voters have spoken and our campaign has won." She says, quote, "From the bottom of my heart, it is an honor to serve the people of Wisconsin." Again, Baldwin declaring the race herself. The AP has not called this race just yet.
Yeah, and Eric Hovde not conceding the race yet. In a statement on social media, Hovde alleges that Democrats are siphoning votes with a, quote, fraudulent candidate. He says those votes are making up more than the entire margin of the race, adding that his team will make sure, that every vote is counted.